Andrew Thompson here of postwrestling.com. You can head over to the site, check out the latest podcast, get all your wrestling news, and also check out the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. On the other end of the line with me right now is a six-time IWGP Tag Team Champion, Guerrillas of Destiny member, Tanga Loa. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Andrew. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. So we got the Bullet Club Beach Party coming up April 4th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern in Tampa, Florida. Whiskey Joe's. We got Kenta, yourself, and Tonga, Matt Taven, Roosh, and a bunch of other people announced and soon to be announced as well. Just talk to me about the Bullet Club Beach Party. It's coming up in 2 months' time. What will be different from the Bullet Club block parties that you guys have hosted in previous years?
Well, first of all, I mean, just the name of it, it's a beach party, not a block party. It's in Florida, not New York or Jersey like last time.
Mm-hmm.
It's warmer, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more skin to show. Last year, the block party was cold, so everybody was bundled up, except for a few people who got chopped on the chest by Bad Luck Fale. But I think this year the weather should be nice, so people should be out in their board shorts, bikini tops and bottoms, however they want to dress for the occasion, and it should be a good time.
And a similar question here of sorts, just in regard to change. It's been about four or 5 years or so since you joined Bullet Club. Just tell me, what are your thoughts about how the group has transitioned over the years, and just the changes that you've seen, just being a part of it throughout these 4 or 5 years.
I, Bullet Club from the start has been a very unique group. Um, but I think, like Tama had said, just like in the military, you want to be able to adapt to the situation, to the times, and I think Bullet Club has done that with the changing of the members, with the changing of the guard, and Bullet Club always finds a way to adapt to the change. And I don't think Bullet Club has lost the step. I know there's concerns about Bullet Club fans and people who aren't Bullet Club fans, who are just wrestling fans, and they always are questioning the changes. But I do believe Bullet Club, what we do best is adapt. And another thing that Bullet Club is very good at is not giving a fuck about shit. So, so people can say what they want and have their opinions, but Bullet Club will always be Bullet Club, and they will go on doing what they want, however they want, no matter who's in the group, no matter who leaves or who joins. That's what I think makes Bullet Club such a unique group.
And you bring up you mentioned the change of the guard. I think it was 2 years ago or so when you guys had the G1 special in San Francisco, and that's when you guys had the official split of the Bullet Club members that were there prior, and then you split from the Elite. Just tell me how important it was for you guys, meaning Tama, yourself, Fale, and those who were in the original the original parts of the Bullet Club. Just tell me how important it was for you guys to have that split and to bring back the true essence of what it meant to be a part of Bullet Club.
One, I think you could see fans could see there's a real difference in the Bullet Club at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny and the Bucks are amazing talent, and then Cody, of course, was part of the Bullet Club at that time too. Marty was too, and I think when two of the members, the original members of the Bullet Club, feel like the club is not holding on to its roots.
Yeah, right.
To the tradition, to that mindset of what started Bullet Club. I think they felt it necessary to pump the brakes, and establish what it meant to be, part of the Bullet Club. And San Francisco is I think that point where we had to draw the line in the sand.
Mm-hmm. And
And
I remember specifically the crowd. They reacted really well to that change because it kind of felt like that's what they wanted, and they wanted that to happen for a while, and then they finally got it, and then the place came unglued and reacted accordingly. So I agree with you saying. Just getting into your career, just here. How crazy is it that what is it, 9 years ago or so in 2011, you and Juice Robinson, you guys were FCW Tag Team Champions, and then fast forward 9 years later, you guys are facing off against each other at Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP Tag Titles. Do you ever think about how crazy it is that stuff like that happens just in like professional wrestling and life in general? How you see somebody early on into you guys' career, and then years later you ended up being in the same place, and it just in this instance, you guys being tag champs and then fighting for the tag titles at New Japan's biggest show of the year just a month ago.
yeah, we both recognized, you know, what a crazy experience it was going to be prior to the Wrestle Kingdom show. And individually, as we looked at it, we both had talked about it prior to the match. We just laughed, like, because like you said, it was 9-10 years ago. We were FCW champions, and we were cutting promos about being champs, and we were just being ridiculous. And then here we have a match showing just how much we've grown as individuals in this company, but even in just the wrestling industry itself, and to find our footing and to perform at Wrestle Kingdom against each other was just awesome. Like, there's always these like milestones that we have as individuals, but to share one with someone who used to be a tag partner 10 years ago was pretty cool.
Right. And speaking of the tag team division, just over the last several years or so, besides this year, of course, it always seems like it's always God versus Even the Sonata, either at Wrestle Kingdom or in the finals of World Tag League. Do you think it's time that maybe New Japan starts to beef up their tag team division, or maybe incorporate the junior heavyweights into the heavyweight tag team division and just have it as one? Or start looking at outside teams and stuff like that, or are you guys just fine with just racking up the tag titles?
So no, I know Tom and I talk about it all the time. We truly believe like it needs growth in the tag team division. There's different companies who have really good tag teams, but we're not working alongside them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
New Japan works alongside ROH and CMLL, and then Rev Pro. And I do believe we were going to have this last tag league. We were supposed to have Aussie Open part of our tag
and
tour.
Mark Davis, he tore his ACL, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and yeah, so he tore his ACL, but we did have a great match with him at the Copper Box in London for our Royal Quest show.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a phenomenal team, and there's a lot of phenomenal teams out there. Unfortunately, we're not in charge of how tag teams come into play, but I know whenever Tom and I have off from the New Japan schedule, we talk about, trying to get in somewhere with an independent show to, test out a tag team. Because, like, it's a recruiting tool as well for us to let the office know, hey, there's a tag team here or there that you guys should take a look at. We worked well with them. They might be good for the junior weight division and or the heavyweight division, depending on, their size and their athletic ability.
And saying what was that? That was at the G1 special. No, not the G1 special. It was the beginning of the G1 Climax in 2019 in Dallas. I think you guys took on Show and Yo, and I know that, like, coming from that match, a lot of people on social media were even saying like it might be time to combine the two divisions and just mix it up a little bit so you can create different matchups, because like I think a lot of people are invested in World Tag League and they want to see, like, teams from different companies, like all over. I mean, not companies necessarily, but different promotions all over, and come to New Japan and then mix it up with you guys, mix it up with Eva Sonata, Finjuice, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it's that was a show in your phenomenal team, and like you said, like to have that dynamic of these heavyweights and then these junior weights match up, it could work for, and it's not out of the question to have the junior weight heavyweight tag team divisions unite, because there's some junior weights I think that are heavyweights, but they're still performing.
Yeah, I know they had Shingo listed as a junior heavyweight. And when I first saw him, I was like, junior heavyweight, like y'all see that at?
Yeah, I even asked him. I was like, dude, you're the same size as me. How is it possible you're a junior weight? But sure enough, he does weigh less than me, so I'm like, oh, well, yeah, okay. You're a junior weight. But definitely, even like, who else is in that junior division?
I know Ospreay's going back and forth, right? Like he's doing like both, isn't he?
Yeah, Ospreay's back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been hitting the gym kind of hard these last few times.
I said you look at a guy like Zack Sabre Jr. He doesn't look like a heavyweight in the slightest, but he fits right in with what's going on in the heavyweight division.
Oh, definitely. And Zach is a phenomenal technical wrestler and a hell of an entertainer. And yeah, he could do either or like Will, but I'm pretty sure he prefers just hanging out in the heavyweights.
Mm-hmm. And I know you guys. Oh, you go ahead. You continue.
We're just not doing all that flipping and
Yeah. Zach
suicide every time we step outside the ring.
Zach is definitely ground based, man. But I know you guys just recently wrapped up the New Beginning USA tour. Just tell me about how that went, how you think that went, and how important is it for New Japan to continue to establish themselves and expand outside of Japan, because also you guys are going to be heading to MSG, man, in about 4 or 5 months for Wrestle Dynasty, and just tell me about how how excited you are for that. So yeah, just the New Beginning tour, and you got MSG coming up.
Yeah, it's groundwork, just like anything else. When you start something, you gotta ground and pound. This first official tour was a great time. We were lucky enough to start in Tampa, to have a lot of family and friends come out and like really start us off with a bang, and then carry that momentum throughout the tour. There's a couple of cities, we didn't get the outcome we wanted as far as attendance came, but the people that did show up, they were live and they were in it because they love it, and we appreciate that love and support. And from there, like, we finished off the tour really well in Atlanta. A lot of more family and friends came out, and of course Finley is from that area. He had a good following out there. And from there, you just got to capitalize on that, like try to keep that momentum going. I'm not sure when the next U.S. tour is, but we already know what the next U.S. show is, like you said, August for that Wrestle Dynasty show. So we just got to, like, hopefully get one more U.S. tour in before that show, to keep that New Japan. Yeah, that momentum of New Japan in the States going. Because if we just have this one tour and then this dead period in the States until MSG, yeah, it's going to be kind of tough. Luckily, we do have, WrestleCon. I do believe, like, the Young Lions or New Japan's going to be there at WrestleCon for, like, maybe a show, I think, on April 2nd.
And I know you guys are going to be represented at Supercard of Honor, too. New Japan.
Yeah, and then we have the beach party, of course, April 4th. So that helps sort of keep that connection to whatever the next real tour is. So yeah, we do definitely want to make sure we keep our presence, no matter if it's wrestling, a beach party, or just like meet and greets, like however we can to keep ourselves relevant in the States is very important, all the way to Wrestle Dynasty and beyond. So the more we get in here, the better.
And just going back to you and Tama, I don't know if you remember, but New Japan, they used to do these like these like on the road series, and they had like a string with you and Tama. How different was that? Just opening yourself up like that, and if you can speak on Tama's behalf as well. How different was that for you guys to open up in a more like an intimate thing like that, letting the people know like your personal lives and stuff like that, because you don't really typically see a lot of New Japan contracted wrestlers do have like those in-depth type interviews, or speak with the U.S. media, the U.S. based media. I typically see the interviews on Tokyo Sports and publications like that, but we don't really get to have the opportunity to chat with you guys over here that much. So how different was that, to basically open yourself up like that, and to watch it back if you have watched it back, because those were like some really in-depth interviews, and gave people a look into who Tanga Loa is, who Tama Tonga is outside of the ring, and the characters that you portray in New Japan.
Right. I think on the road too is sort of, I don't know if that really captures us still at the same time.
Right.
Like, we have moments in there where it's like
right.
legit real, and then there's moments where it's still kind of just meh. Like at that time too, it was really early in my career over there. I think I was only like my second year there. And like at the time I was still just like allowing Tama sort of to lead that way, because Tom had been there already for like 8 or 9 years before I got there. So I just went with the flow of how Tama was going, and overall I think it came out okay. But I think to really capture the essence of Tama or myself, you really have to be around us, like around us.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like even like because like they had on the road, like they put us in spots where we were just like I normally wouldn't, you really wouldn't find me in like just sitting at like a table with Tom and him and I just having dinner at like this some fancy like Japanese spot.
Right.
Like if you're gonna find us, like at a bar or like at some like
y'all just chilling
real spot or something.
Relax.
Yeah, like something that doesn't feel so formal.
Mm.
Cause that one spot we were at for dinner, and I was like, this is a nice dinner, but you ain't gonna really get much out of us.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
But going back to what you're saying, it is important for New Japan to test, really, to just like anything, you don't know if it's going to be a success or not unless you try. So I do believe for foreigners to see other foreigners, interact in Japan and to see what they like to do in Japan helps probably the tourist industry, and helps New Japan get some more viewership outside of just wrestling fans. Right. I mean, same almost as WWE uses the Total Divas on the E Network to get more fans. Mm-hmm. A different dynamic.
I say now, going back to the tag team division. This is a while back, I believe it was last year or so. You guys, it was a post match interview you and Tama did. You guys name dropped the Revival, the Usos. You guys name dropped a bunch of other teams outside of New Japan. Were you guys hoping to get anything out of that, or you guys just looking like just to get a reaction out of social media, because it did blow up? Like a lot of people shared that video that New Japan posted on their Twitter account, and it went everywhere, and they got a couple of reactions from the teams that you guys mentioned.
Oh yeah, it's it's just a shout out to those teams that we recognize as amazing tag teams in our industry right now, and they are the essence of what real tag teams are. So one, that's respect name dropping like that, and then two, going back to what you were saying earlier, finding tag teams outside of New Japan to face against, especially for World Tag League. I mean, that's a great tournament, and that's a great way for a tag team talent who's not known around the world to jump in on from outside of New Japan, to get in on and to show their talents amongst New Japan tag teams.
Yeah.
So doing that I think besides the respect part, lets New Japan know, hey, it's time to, look outside our box and really take a look at young talent that's available out there. There's a lot of hungry guys out there, and it's important for us to always keep an eye out for them.
And I really wanted to ask you this question right here. I really like you guys' current theme song way better than the last one you had. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the new theme, or you like the old Gorillas of Destiny theme?
Both are awesome due to the fact that we had hands on with it. The first one I wasn't so much part of. The second one I was definitely more part of. So I'm definitely with the second drop of our intro music. So no disrespect to the first one, because the first one was like
it fit. It did fit. I liked like the way it was produced and the way that was put together, because it fit like the slow, like, methodical vibe. And then but this one, like, I don't know what it is, but this one is like it's more of a head bobber. That's what I'm gonna say. Like you can listen to
oh,
that, but
definitely,
yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, once it drops, yeah, man, like the body moves, and that's definitely that was our goal. It's just to get something that people would enjoy from the moment it starts to the moment it finishes. Like you're just in it, and then it carries on. Even after the song stops playing, it sort of the tune carries into your head.
As saying, just lastly to wrap it up here, I do want to thank you for your time again, Tanga Loa. Just after all you've done as a tag team wrestler, 6-time IWGP Tag Team Champion, you guys have got a couple tag league victories under your belt. Have you ever had any aspirations of being like a IWGP Intercontinental or US champion or heavyweight champion or anything of the sort?
Oh yeah, I got aspirations for a lot of things. Like time will only tell. Like I'm grateful for the position I'm in now as a tag team. Tama and I have, like you said, 6-time IWGP Tag Team Champions. We've only been ROH champions once, which was cool. I look forward to attaining more titles with Tama, not just New Japan titles, but any other wrestling independent scene and or organization outside of New Japan would be cool. But as an individual, yeah, man, like I don't know when that will happen, but I definitely look forward to maybe even like getting my feet wet for like I don't know, like the G1 near the end of the year, where it's just a singles wrestling, and just get a taste of that, see how I would do just by myself. Like I did the New Japan Cup 2 years ago, or a year ago, or 2 years ago, and I faced Nagata and I lost. And I think at that time I was still just trying to get a feel, try to get, just try to figure it out for myself, because I was still partly new to the company.
Right.
So there's another New Japan Cup coming up, March 3rd through 21st. So I might be in it, I might not. But yeah, anytime I can get my feet wet as an individual performer, I'm down for it.
Cool. One thing I did want to bring up before we did wrap it up, this kind of slipped my mind a little bit. Just tell me, just real quickly, how proud you are of Hikuleo and what he's doing right now. I always see Rare Pro's Twitter account always tweet out photos of him on their shows. Just tell me, this is a family member, man, like how good that is to see, family progressing and doing stuff outside of New Japan, and then when he eventually comes back, the expectations that are upon him, and just the improvements that he will have been made the improvements that he will have made by the time he comes back.
I'll always be proud of all his accomplishments. Even when we were kids and he started playing middle school basketball, he was a phenom in middle school, and he was amazing in high school and college. Whatever he decides to do, it's awesome. His career right now in London is awesome. I'm happy for him. He's in a groove right now. I can't speak for him, but from the outside looking in, he looks like he's having a great time, which I can only ask for. I want that kid to have as much fun as possible. So when he does get back to Japan, I have no expectations for him. Like I don't want him to feel pressured when he gets back. I just want that flow, that groove he's in to carry on over here.
Just let him do his thing.
I just want him to just fucking have fun when he gets back.
Right. You just want him to do his thing. That's all that matters. So yeah, Tanga Loa, once again, man, I do want to thank you for your time. The Bullet Club Beach Party, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, April 4th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. Whiskey Joe's in Tampa, Kenta, God, El Phantasmo, Matt Taven, Rouge, a bunch of other people are already slated for the show.
Don't forget, fucking Cam Shamrock's gonna be there.
Ken Shamrock is the security guard, ladies and gentlemen, to keep things under control. You don't want to forget that. So don't go to the beach party acting crazy because you don't want to run into Ken Shamrock. You don't want to run into Ken Shamrock, man. That's one thing you don't do. Tanga Loa, I do want to thank you for your time again, man. I appreciate it, and have a good day.
No, hey, you too. Thank you for having me on, bro.